And today, thousands of Nigerians are marching in Aba under the banner 1 million man march for the freedom of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, a man the Federal High Court of Nigeria sentenced to life imprisonment. First, Mr. Sowore, are these people criminals as the courts have demanded that here?
Well, it depends on who you're referring to. Are you referring to the court as criminals? No, of course not. It is the fundamental right of Nigerians to protest anywhere, anyhow they want. And it has been my well-known path in rectifying wrongs in society to engage in protest. And I've done that for over 36 years almost. So, including some of the characters who are in power now, they also engage in protests of different kinds. In fact, you can almost refer to the All Progressives Congress, APC party, as a progress to power. So there is nothing wrong in protest. They have tried everything they can to criminalize protest, but we have always told them that protest is not a criminal offense. And
now, going forward, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has been convicted by the judge, and the sentence is life imprisonment. What exactly are the people marching in Aba today demanding? Justice or the reversal of the judgment?
It's complete reversal of the judgment. We're asking that the federal government, who wrongfully abducted Nnamdi Kanu, actually they kidnapped him from another country, which is a crime. It's called extraordinary rendition. I should apologize to him, compensate him for that, and then release him by discontinuing his trial. I am not one of the people who is asking for prerogative of mercy. No. Only a person who is a criminal deserves mercy. For someone who is innocent, you can't ask for mercy. You ask for complete exoneration and release.
Well, you've led several protests in this country and we have seen them yield fruits. But talking about the issue of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu now, in Abuja and also in Aba today, talking about protests which you have led, what actually triggered you to do this for this man?
From the inception, I've always believed that that the Nigerian Civil War was wrong and wrong-headed. It was criminal to have killed over 3 million people, 6 million, depending on who was counting, over their demand not to be part of a country they don't believe in, or at that point felt like had isolated them. Second is that it's not wrong to ask for a separate state of your own. It's actually guaranteed by the United Nations that you can seek for your own homeland if you want. If you feel like the one you found yourself or you've been pushed into doesn't fulfill your aspiration as a people. So to now criminalize their demand for a Biafra homeland, first by killing them and then telling us that the war was ended on a good note. There's no war that ends on a good note in which nobody won and nobody lost. It's the biggest lie that Nigeria ever told in the history of warfare. And then when I got involved with knowing Nnamdi Kanu first as a reporter, as a reporter, I understand deeply where he was coming from, having read Nigeria's history and contemporarily looking at what Nigeria does to the Southeasterners. I have no doubt that he was on the right path, and I quietly joined that struggle ever since then. And when he was even rendition from Kenya, I was one of the first people at the Federal High Court, but they had blindfolded him and ran away before I got there. So it's not my first protest, by the way. I protested several times at the Federal High Court, and I was attacked physically at least 3 times under the Buhari regime because I attended his trial and was never allowed to even enter the courtroom where his trial was taking place whenever I was present. This only contact I had with him was in October 2025 when I was standing somewhere. They were bringing him and we greeted, and that was the day I was arrested and sent to prison for leading a protest to free him. Yes.
Well, now this is going to be more like you throwing more light this thing have happened in the movements, the protests rather have happened in Abuja and today in Aba. When does a protest become a revolution?
When there are enough people in large numbers who say enough is enough and would not back down until they get their demands. And that's what the revolution is. Is everybody getting angry at the same time, on the same day, at different venues, practically on a variety of issues that affect them commonly. That's what a revolution is. And so strongly that the old order collapses and gives way for a new one.
During the protest, you made mention of Justice Omotosho, and people that have followed the case of Nnamdi Kanu. It started with Peter Nyaku, and now Justice Omotosho. Now, Justice Omotosho ruled that Nnamdi Kanu used the IPOB to incite attacks on security forces and civilians. Mr. Sowore, as a supporter of the rule of law, how can you march for someone convicted or incited or have said to have incited violence by the court?
That particular incitement clause or narration or narrative was actually Omotosho referring to EndSARS. So you would expect that the people who proudly claim they started EndSARS, including me, should be witnesses in that courtroom. We should be tried jointly with Nnamdi Kanu if it is true that he actually committed an incitement against security forces during EndSARS. Turns out it was security forces that killed innocent people during EndSARS. So it is tried in law that even if someone was said to have carried out a threat to kill the president of the country, you must investigate and be sure that he has the capacity to do it. Nnamdi Kanu is not known to even be part of the EndSARS movement. He was speaking about policemen in Lagos, so, purportedly. But the people who were in Lagos were into Nnamdi Kanu's IPOB members. We know them. The celebrities in this country today. A lot of them became very popular for participating in EndSARS. So while is Omotosho not jailing those ones too? Like I said, including myself, Aisha, Faz, Burna Boy, all the guys who erected billboards for EndSARS should be in prison then. If incitement, this particular incitement allegation were to be true, but this is all concocted. So you just send them down the Kanu. We're lucky that we even did a protest before his so-called conviction. He was going to be convicted, and sentenced to death. That was their plan. But the protest kind of slowed them down, and we know that if this protest is well done, it will bring him back home.
So finally,
yes,
I want you to set the record straight.
Yes.
You ran for president in 2019.
That's correct.
In 2023.
Yes.
And now, many people must have been rumoring that maybe you have ambition for 2027 and you want the Southeastern to accept you. That's why you are doing this. Yeah. Is this politically motivated?
Do you know that I also fought for Nnamdi Kanu before 2023 election? Let me tell you, if you're actually looking for votes, you know where the votes are located geographically, is it not? You won't be fighting for Nnamdi Kanu. Anybody who's fighting for Nnamdi Kanu is only targeting less than 20% of Nigeria's political votes. So it doesn't make sense, because a majority of the Northerners have a problem with somebody who is fighting to break Nigeria. They like the unity of Nigeria. So it's counterintuitive that you want, if I want to be looking for votes, I'll be campaigning against Nnamdi Kanu so that the Northerners can accept me. So that the Yorubas, who also embrace someone who want the country to be, but don't like Nnamdi Kanu, can embrace me, right? If I want votes and I want accolades and I want acceptance, I would not be here fighting for, but I hear that all the time. And that's the question I asked him when I was fighting for Abiola in 1993. Was I looking for votes? 1993, when I was 22 years old, not qualified to even contest as president because I was too young. But the world never run out of excuses for doing what is wrong and not supporting what is right. but I do what is right, regardless of whether it's popular or not.